Hey there, welcome to another episode of Mundane Designs. I'm your host Mundane. This video is part of my convention series, and today we're going to go over my trip to MoGameCon. I love going to video game conventions. I used to be a big convention goer for sci-fi and various things in the past, and I kind of dropped off from that. I think I just kind of got caught up in getting a job and being an adult and just, doing things that I was doing. I got into World of Warcraft, and that kind of like pulled me out of social circles as well. But I started slowly dipping my toe back into conventions. And so I have gone to another convention. In fact, I went to MoGameCon, and I've got the shirt and I've got various other things and stuff. And yeah, I drove there. I drove almost 9 hours because I took multiple stops from Birmingham to St. Louis, and it was absolutely worth it. I got to visit with a friend from high school from a long time ago and stuff, and stay with him and have a lot of fun. And then we went to this convention. I found out about the convention, and I found out that it was in the town that he had moved to. And we were just going to go. We were going to go and relive some of our high school days of like when we were back in looking for video games and stuff, have that experience together. As I get older, things are becoming more event and experience oriented as opposed to, like possessions and stuff. I'm more concerned about the experience. Now, I am one of those people that will associate an item with an experience. I could tell you the story of how I got this and what the guy was like wanting and stuff for the money that I gave him, and then how I went through and I modified it. And that's an experience for me. And every time I see this item, I get to remember that experience. Obviously, I was going to go to MoGameCon just to have fun and stuff. And then I found out that there was going to be a bunch of people there. And MoGameCon started off the right way for me. It really did. I was walking in with my friend. We found a good parking spot, or at least a decent parking spot. And we were walking up towards it, and then suddenly I hear this voice that I recognize, and it's like, drive-by high five, and it's Fresh from Fresh and Merry, Co-opal of Nerds, and he goes by, and we do this like 15-mile-an-hour high five. He's hanging out the car trying to give me a high five, and like, of course, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. So I got to meet a lot of the people that I wanted to meet. I got to meet Fresh and Merry again. I got to meet Peter from Waves and Games. I didn't get to meet Chris Pico. I definitely wanted to meet Chris Pico. I got to meet Captain Algebra, and I ran into him multiple times, and we started ribbing each other a little bit. It was just great. Yeah, I got to meet Tom and Lacey from Do Your Nerd. I got to meet Sean from 8-Bit Glitch, and I've helped him on one of his YouTube videos, which was years ago, where we were talking about stuff for Christmas. It was so good and wholesome, and just how everything was almost like a reunion of friends and stuff. And even though I've never met these people in person before, yeah, I just absolutely had a blast and do not regret it one bit. I do know that MoGameCon is only one day. It looks like they were kind of bigger in the past, and then possibly they kind of shrunk down because of COVID. It looks like they are building back. There is quite a few impressive things that you can purchase at MoGameCon, and you should definitely look at going. But yeah, let's go through some of the things that I spotted at MoGameCon, and then we'll finish it up with what I actually picked up. Here's where we start off, is the MoGameCon 9 t-shirt. Now, I got this t-shirt because my friend Cinshadis bought me a VIP pass, and it came with a few benefits. And this MoGameCon 9 t-shirt that is fashioned after the Dragon Quest series is it's really, really nice. And there's the front. I'm not even entirely sure there's anything on the back. Nope, nothing on the back at all. But yes, very much happy to get that. And of course, since I got the shirt and I was a VIP, I got a VIP badge. Fairly basic badge. You know, same font on the front and the back and stuff. Very nice neck lanyard. I mean, they did an excellent job with their badges. And next, I got a couple of stickers. And of course, I'm going to do the thing that I always do, and I'm going to convert these into magnets to put on my mini fridge down in the game room. But I'm really happy with the way that the stickers are. They feel like a really nice quality. The other thing is I got to meet a couple of YouTubers, and I was extraordinarily happy to meet them. And I got some swag. Got this little guy from Coopple of Nerds, from Fresh and Merry, and it's a really nice pen. It's going back on the game bag or the convention bag just as soon as this video is over. Speaking of pens, I got another really tiny pen. Let's see if you can see that or not. But Tom and Lacey from Do You Nerd were there. And so I got to see them. I got some stickers from them. I got the classic Tom and Lacey, the Nerdling, the Do You Nerd, and of course, I met the DK Barrel. You know I had to do it. There was no possible way that I was going to not get a picture with the DK Barrel. Then there was a trial game. Now, Cinshadis played it. I didn't really take the chance or the time to play it. But this is a independent studio that's essentially trying to do some sort of like monster collector game. They're not trying to do a complete ripoff of Pokemon or Pal World or anything like that. And they had a survey about what your favorite monster collector was. And I mentioned Karsha Word of Fate and explained how with the units you can build them up and level them up, and then you can sacrifice them to turn them into equipment and get this exponential growth and stuff, because new units get to use overpowered equipment and things like that, and so on and so forth. And they really took that to heart. I was very pleasantly surprised that they decided to really listen to me on that. My wife knows that when I go into a game store, there's a really good chance I'm not going to come out with anything. However, I do have a wish list, and I have to say I got no less than 4 items off my wish list at MoGameCon. So we got From the Abyss on the Nintendo DS, and it is CIB. Another game, for some reason I got into handhelds, was Growlancer Wayfare of Time. Then another PSP game, Crimson Gem Saga, another Atlas game, obviously. And yeah, I was very happy. I got this one also complete in box. And finally, I got a Sega Master System game. Sorry for the glare on that one, but it's Zillion, the Mega cartridge. Now, I've had Zillion 2 for the longest time, and it's bugged me to no end that I did not have Zillion 1. But I wanted it complete. I didn't want a loose copy, and this one is CIB. It even has the advertisement poster in here. Yeah, it was a really great thing to be able to come along to a convention and get 4 games off of my wish list, which is unheard of for me. I cannot express how hard it is for me to find things on my wish list, but here they are, 4 things, and I couldn't be more grateful for being able to find things that were actually on my wish list.
And that's it for this episode of Mondane Designs. I'm your host, Mondane, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. I have videos on the 1st and 15th of every month, and I look forward to sharing them with you. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.